All right. As I was driving to the venue, I was gonna put on like a little something to listen to, but sometimes I really don't want to listen to other things because other things pop up. So, as I was saying earlier, I do tend to journal a lot because it is for me an emotional time getting ready to perform on stage. And this actually reminds me, I said something earlier about be careful who you work with or who, claims to be, you know, something that they're not in the community because sometimes they're just not. Actually, I have one story time definitely, and then I have a second one that kind of, it was almost just as bad, but not really. Okay, so if you don't know by now, I am Monica. I'm also Nerd Queen, singer songwriter, performer in real life, and educator, caregiver to my disabled brother, all that stuff. Okay. So I was, I'm trying to remember if who reached out to who. See, that's the number one thing. Because I believe I reached out to them. I'm just gonna say I did, whether I did or not. Okay, even if I didn't, I'm not trying to say that I'm all of this and that or whatever. I'm in a turnabout right now. So I'm just gonna say I reached out to these folks. So they were having an art opening, and it was like a mixed use gallery, from what I remember, and the part of town, it was in Kirkwood. Again, I live in Atlanta because I remember driving there. It was, no, it wasn't Kirkwood. It was close to it. It was Decatur, Kirkwood area, so Oakhurst kind of. Um, so I'm saying I reached out to them, whether it was true or not. So I reached out to them and I was saying, hey, are you looking for a performer? This and that, blah blah blah. So we emailed, not as much as probably we should have, and maybe that was the second clue. So I am professional. I'm just going to tell you now. I show up to places on time. If you say that's what you want me to do, that's what I'm going to do. You know, that builds a reputation around town that people say what they're going to do. And so I think the last email we left off probably like 4 weeks before the event, saying that I was going to be the performer for that. And so I definitely did my research on them. I knew where to go. I knew what time to be there and all the things and stuff, and made sure I did advertising, that kind of thing, because that's a part of it too. They, a lot of people want to build based on reputations, right? So I did what I did. And then the day comes, and it was a day event too. So because it was an art gallery opening, mixed use space. And I did my part, that I thought I did my part, right? And I go to the venue and I get there and I get it's almost traumatizing because it's not gonna happen tonight, I promise you. So I get there, and the person who I was emailing, I think there was a partnership. There might have been something else going on, but anyway, so I get there, and the woman tells me, she's like, "Yeah, we don't need your services," and I was like flabbergasted because I was literally loading in with my guitar, my amp, and stuff. And I didn't argue with her because that, what do I want to say, you know? And so I was just like, I think she had a little bit of an attitude too. So it wasn't like she was being like apologetic about it. It was almost like I did something to her. So again, I chop it up to being something that was beyond me, but I was the one dealing with the consequences, right? So all I did was reload my stuff and went home. And then what I did, I went back and I looked through all the emails just to see, like, is there something I'm missing here? Is there something that should have happened that didn't happen on my end? You know? And I couldn't find any evidence of that. Really, nothing. And all I can think of is maybe if it was some kind of weird partnership and one person was okay with me performing and the other person wasn't. I don't know. But yeah, I showed up on time. I wasn't late. So see, that's the other thing. People just assume, performers, artists, quote unquote, are these like lazy whatever people, and they're really not the real ones, not the real ones. Okay, so we work hard. Okay, and so yeah, I show up at the gallery on time, if not early, I guess, to set up, right? And she basically just says, we don't need your services. And I'm like, okay. And then I go home. Ugh, I tell you. And then, like I said, I quite honestly, if I don't think I deleted those emails. I'm a keeper of emails. That's the other thing. I have a long memory, and if not, my email is longer. So if that person ever were to reach out to me again, I'm like, no, thank you. I don't, because there was no real explanation. I understand things happen. I totally get it, but it just came off like really kind of nasty when it didn't have to be. And I was just like, what? I don't know. It's that nice nastiness that some people, women have sometimes. A lot of women have that. And the other thing that almost happened but not quite happened. Now this one I know I did reach out to them and they just, snubbed me because I think not to say that I'm just this superstar or anything like that, but I already had a bit of a reputation, and that happened like maybe a couple of years ago when they were trying to put together this like weekend festival event. And I was like, this sounds awesome. This looks fun. I would totally like to perform, for this kind of thing. And I reached out to them. So they were kind of, again, these folks, they were just kind of like snooty in a way that just like they didn't even respond, quite honestly. Or if they did, it was just kind of like, well, we don't, we have our own entertainment or something like that, to that effect. Um, and I don't think they tried to make it a yearly event, and they only lasted 1 year, maybe two. Okay, and they're still out there in the interwebs or whatever, doing whatever. But again, it happens. But I don't want to have like an S list, like sugar, honey, iced tea list, as one of my friends like to say it. Um, but I do have a be careful of these folks list because some people don't know how to conduct themselves in business practices. And then there's nothing wrong with being rejected, so I wouldn't put the second party on that kind of list either. They said what they said. They're like, no, thank you. The first story I just told you, yeah, I would totally put them on that list because I'm like, y'all wasted my time. If I said I was going to be there, like, what did you want me to do? Like, call you every day or something? So that's the other thing. Sometimes people don't speak to exactly what they want and need to feel like they're getting a value. Now, even the first story I just told you, I knew I wasn't going to get paid. So it wasn't even like me asking them for money. And it wasn't like, and maybe that's the other thing. Maybe they assumed that I was going to ask them for money. But no, I wasn't. Because I had money. I just like the event. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just play because I want to play. Um, but yeah, it's like in business, like with everything, really, you have to speak to what it is you actually want and make it plain without getting emotional, without getting, weird. about things. So yeah, as it's turning twilight, and now I was doing a lot of back roads traveling, um, but even the back roads are backed up, y'all. We got the delivery truck is over here, basically in the middle of the 2-lane street here. Oh well, will I make it on time? Yes. I don't know when load in is though, but I will make it. I know. Now, what makes it different this time around is because I have developed a relationship with this person that's putting this show together. Um, I've seen him from afar. We don't necessarily play the same kind of music, but we kind of do. And that's the other thing when it comes to me, the longevity. It's like, that's why I say I'm a musician, because I can play several kinds and styles of music. So it's not like I only run in certain circles in Atlanta. So he is kind of the same a little bit. He has his own urban farm, so that's also how I know him. But he's developed a deep fixture relationship in the community. Okay, so that's why I trust him. He's dealt with his own issues of the raw deal out of things when people try to this musically or in the art world. um yeah, he went through a real, like, and he made it public too, so that's the other thing. Like, he is a trooper. Like, he told the business about this one club in Atlanta and how they just basically robbed him, you know and that touched me, that stuck with me, because again, that goes to all of us in the community. It's like, yeah, beware of that club. Don't go to that club, because they don't treat the musicians well, you know so that is really important. Folks out there that want to put together events and all the other things, it's like, don't abuse the musicians. Okay, no, don't do that. So anyway, so as as my friend, so I see him around much because we're all getting older or whatever, and when 2020 hit and all the other things happened, we all kind of took a big hit as musicians. We couldn't get out and about, couldn't do stuff. um but it seems like he's doing pretty okay now. So he does, like, a traveling event, as in he'll go to different venues with his thing, and he has connections with the Atlanta Food Bank, like a true legit, because he is an urban farmer, a true legit organization. So when he asked me to perform tonight, I said, okay, yes, of course, you know, and that's how it's kind of done. You have to get out there and make the relationships. You got to make them work. You got to, be out there with the folks. Okay, so as you can see, it's definitely twilight now. Okay. All right, y'all. So I don't know if I can be live on stage or whatever on my phone. That would be weird. Okay, that would be weird. All right, so thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to Nerd Queen. I'll be on stage. Wait, do you think you want me to sing? Maybe this will be a great warm up. I'm gonna sing "I'll Fly Away" tonight. I'm gonna warm up in the car right now. Okay. All right, hit that like button. Yes, I'm singing. All right. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I will fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. It's when I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. When the shadow of this life is gone, I'll fly away to a home. Oops, I'm lost. And that's the other thing. I worry about my words. All right, so this is second verse. When the shadows of this life is gone, I'll fly away like a bird from these prison walls. I'll fly away. I will fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. 'Cause when I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Third verse. See, I always mix up the verses. And that's the thing. I hope I can have my sheet music up there. I forget the verses, y'all. I might make it short just because I can't remember all the words. That's one thing about me. Third verse is and then there's a thing. All right, let me warm up with the other song and then I'm definitely out. All right, y'all, because I'm now in officially Decaturland and it is a walking community and there's lots of people walking around right now to go to wherever they're going to tonight. All right, let's do Beautiful Brown Eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Oh, I'll never love blue eyes again. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Interesting. This person's trying to parallel park and I don't think they can do it. Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Oh, I'll never love blue eyes again. I can sing and talk trash in traffic and warm up my voice for my show. I hope that you've enjoyed the video. Ooh, she's got on glitter pants. So I'll never love blue eyes again. Bye. Have a good one, y'all.